it's Kara and this is Finnick, and we are here today to talk about rubs. Anytime that your horse wears something for most of the day or all day for long periods of time, there's a really good chance that it's going to cause some type of rubbing because it's just not a natural thing for them to wear stuff all the time. Thank you, Finnick. So I'm here to kind of help you troubleshoot and figure out why the rub is happening and what option might work best for your horse. My sweet boy. So I have lots of different pieces of equipment that I like to use to help prevent rubs, and each one works a little bit differently, and each horse kind of prefers a different thing. Horses have different fur types and thinner or more sensitive or thicker skin or thicker fur, and so each horse is kind of a little different in what helps them. But we have kind of figured out how to narrow down, for the most part, the best option for your horse. So if you're having any rubbing issues, reach out to us at our customer service email. It is support@gg-equine.com. and we can help you figure out the best route to try. But in the meantime, here are some just basic things about rubs that we have found that really help. So first we're going to talk about chin rubs, and when we say chin rubs, we mean that little point, thank you Finnick, right here on the bottom of their chin, right there. So it's very helpful. And this is something that we see a lot, especially if your horse is on the bigger side. Finnick is a draft cross, so he has this issue, and it's something that I have to help him out with a little bit. So we have a couple different options for you. The first option is that, and these are a little shabby looking because Finnick is very hard on his things. We make these pony protector stickers that cover the holes in the muzzle. Now, if you have a pony sized muzzle and your horse is getting chin rubs, that's a pretty good sign that you might actually want to size up to the horse size next time around. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you have the horse size or you need to make the pony size work for a little bit longer, you can get our pony protector stickers. So there's those. Another option that I really like, and these also work if they're getting rubs directly on the front of their nose, like right here. Those can work for that as well. And so another option that I really like to do is using Gorilla Tape. Now again, these look really rough because my horses use them 24/7, and they're out with a bunch of young horses. So this is just covering, it's the same idea, it's just covering that area with Gorilla Tape. And here's another one you can see where we've covered it with Gorilla Tape. So one other option that you can try, I have another horse, Wells. You've probably seen him on some of our social media. He's a big paint draft cross, and he is bigger than Finnick. And though we are working on a draft size muzzle, we don't have it yet. And so I have accommodated his muzzle for him by actually cutting out the chin area. If you feel like you want to try this, you can reach out to us at support@gg-equine.com. We can send you a tutorial if you feel like you're a little bit handy. I will say I did this at the beginning of this season, and it has held up quite well. And it's really been perfect for him. Again, he's a draft cross, so he's just a little bit bigger than a horse that would need the horse size. So, and we are hoping to have a larger size available as soon as possible. So if you can't hold out for that, then this might be a really good option for you. All right, so the next rub that we see fairly often is our rubs from the halter itself. And so these might be like along the cheekbone, or even like the center face strap area, or sometimes under their jaw. And for those rubs, those can be a little bit more nuanced. If it's a cheek piece area, a lot of times what happens is when the nylon of your halter gets wet and dries, as it kind of gets wet, stays wet, and rubs back and forth across their cheek, that's what helps pull the hair out or rub the hair off. And so often covering it with something that keeps it from having a wet surface on your horse's face will help. You can see here, and I did this a while ago, so again, it looks pretty rough. I covered the cheek piece with duct tape. There are also some different like fleece type things that you can use. I have found with fleece that some horses do really well with fleece and other horses do not do well with fleece. Sometimes fleece actually becomes an abrasive itself because again, it can hold that moisture and that can also contribute to the rubbing. So my favorite option for when the halter itself is the culprit is actually using a Lycra fly mask. So this is a Lycra fly mask, and the really cool thing about these is they have this nice slippery Lycra that goes under basically every part of the halter, and so it really protects their skin. This has been the thing on my most sensitive horses that has worked the best. And we've tried lots of different things, but this has been really my favorite option. If you don't want the fly mask option, you can always cut out the eye part. I really do like the ears, that it kind of covers those and protects those, and it helps it to stay on really well. But this has been the thing that has really helped keep them from getting rubs over their nose, on the sides, and even sometimes under the chin, depending on where that sits. So this is my favorite option. Another option that we have tried and works on some of my horses, but not all of them, are these little memory foam halter pads. These are meant to go on the crown piece and the nose band. One of them has Velcro and one of them just has elastic that you can slide through. But because our halter comes unbuckled in so many different places, like under the chin, you can actually use these on whatever spot is causing the rubs. So you can see on this halter, I actually have one under the nose band, and that works pretty well. But the horse that was using this has like a white face, and so his skin's really sensitive there. And because this sits right there all day, every day, it wasn't actually doing the trick. The Lycra fly mask was the thing that really made the difference. But I have other horses that use these all day, every day, and they do just fine. Finnick, right here, as you can see, he likes to play pretty rough. So I have actually added lots of different things to his to keep his muzzle on. But I've added these pads both to the underside and the upper side of his nose band because he was getting rubs under his chin. When they are getting rubs under their jaw that are not right on the point of their chin, which we covered with the stickers, it's really important to look at your horse while they are grazing. If you can watch them graze and see what part of the halter, muzzle, or strap is touching wherever the rub is while they're actually grazing, that's gonna tell you what to fix. With most muzzles, on larger horses especially, it's important to have the strap under their chin pretty short to keep your angle correct on your muzzle. And also, if it's too long, it will kind of double up as they press down to graze, and that can be what causes the rub. Sometimes also it can be the back edge of the muzzle. You can see it a little better here. Sometimes it can be this back edge of the muzzle that's causing the rub. And if that's the case, there's probably an angle adjustment that will help, but there might also be some creative taping we can do to help that. Now the other option is that it could be the muzzle strap itself. And if that's the case, I like to tape over the transition from the muzzle to the strap. So this is that taped right there. But you can see I kind of covered that whole transition, and then I added this pad, and that basically covered that whole space. And having that buckle really short keeps that from touching their face, and it keeps the corner of the muzzle from touching their face as well. Those other times, if they're getting rubs under their jaw, it can be from the actual halter noseband. So it might be that that's too tight. It might be that when they graze, it's pushing it up higher, which makes it fit a little smaller because it's being pushed up to a larger part of their head. So if you can loosen that noseband, that can usually help. But again, if you can tell us what part is touching them and send us a picture of the halter muzzle combination on your horse directly from the side with their head up so that we can see the fit and angle, that will give us a really good idea of how to help you. So next I wanted to talk about rubs from other parts of the muzzle. So my two favorite tools, other than the Lycra fly mask, for treating rubs are electric tape and Gorilla Tape. So I use electric tape on the straps because it's very moldable. So if you feel like the strap is what's rubbing, like the little leather muzzle straps or even our Velcro corner straps, if those are what are causing the rubs, if you can wrap those areas in electric tape, that will usually fix that issue. You also want to make sure that they're not so long that when they're grazing, they're kind of doubling up or getting like a kink in them, and that's causing the rub, because that can be it too. But once you get them the correct length, if you cover them in electric tape, that will usually fix it. So then this is my white Gorilla Tape. Usually it's black, but I got this nice wide stuff. Any other spot that is causing a rub, typically if you can create a smooth surface with the Gorilla Tape, that will keep the rub from happening. So some horses will get rubs on the sides, and so covering those areas, or if there's like a rough spot in their muzzle where maybe someone chewed on it a little bit, this can be really helpful. I've also wrapped parts of my halter in the Gorilla Tape, which seems to work okay. But yeah, for helping rubs, Gorilla Tape can be really helpful because again, it creates a very smooth surface. You want to make sure there's not a seam like this over where the rub is. You want to make sure it's a nice flat surface. And creating a smooth surface that also isn't going to hold moisture is really helpful in preventing rubs. So if you have a rub that was not addressed in this video, please reach out to us, send us a picture. We want to be able to help you. We have seen lots and lots of things. We've tried lots of things. So hopefully we can help you troubleshoot and get it taken care of a lot faster.